here in Pullman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Hype Man on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipe Man.
And here I am, the Pipe Man, and I'm here with my extra special guest that I have with me, does a segment every month, and she is amazing. This is Sara Banta. She does a show on our network, but she's always on the Adventures of Pipe Man because she is my residential health and wellness expert. And I just love her advice, and that's why I bring her on the show so that she can help you people out there listening, no matter where you are in the world. So let's welcome to the show, Sara Banta. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Dean?
I'm doing great. I'm down here, I think we talked about last time. I'm down here in Costa Rica, and you know, it's funny because there's some things that are healthier about here, and there's some things that are not as healthy about here. So it just goes to show, like, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you know, there's good and bad. And thank God there's people like you that can kind of sort that good and bad out and give people good advice. And one of the things too recently, interestingly enough, I was talking with my son who is in the Army, and he had to do some serious training that not everybody would like to do. And from that, it has caused him problems with his thyroid. Based on, yeah. So he had to do this like torture training.
Oh, goodness. What's he experiencing with his thyroid?
Well, I seem to think he has Hashimoto's. But, you know, when it comes to military doctors, they look at only Western medicine, period. And so we don't know what's going on, but he has a few issues that he's experiencing. One thing is he's always been really thin, and he's been gaining weight. Mm-hmm. He also is having issues with sleeping, eating, all kinds, and his metabolism. You know, we talked about this last time we talked metabolism. His metabolism is definitely way off. This is somebody that has always been very fit and basically had a great metabolism. And now, because of whatever happened in wherever he was, which is undisclosed, you know, it was not good. I mean, he even showed me pictures of what he looked like right afterwards, because it now affected like an autoimmune thing. And, you know, it's pretty incredible what's going on. And I'd love to see him get some help. So I'm going to make sure he listens to this episode, I think.
Well, he's not alone. In the last 3-4 years, the true pandemic is the exponential increase in Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism. And the problem is people are going to their doctors and they're not testing the full thyroid panel, and they leave saying, oh, well, your thyroid's fine. It's within normal range. Well, you have to remember that the blood tests of normal range are normal according to the normal population, which is all sick. So you don't want to be in the normal range. But symptoms to look for when you have low thyroid function: fatigue. So you're constantly tired. You don't have energy. You could be depressed. Did you know that the #1 cause of depression is low thyroid and low iodine? So most people, and I actually just read a study this morning about how the antidepressant world and medication is all fraud, because placebo does just as much as the antidepressants do. But most of the people put on antidepressants have hypothyroid. So if they were just tested for their thyroid, instead of just put on their antidepressants, a lot of them would have success in feeling better.
You know what I love about that? Sorry to interrupt, but, you know, I am so, people might not like me saying this, I'm so tired of everybody having mental illness and everybody needing drugs for mental illness. Like, It can't be everybody in the world has mental illness. There's got to be something else. And it just coincidentally happens in a time where our food is processed more than it ever has been, where we're eating such junk, where we're high stress, where we never turn off 24/7. Like, I don't think all these things are coincidences.
Of course not. Processed foods cause depression.
Right.
That's a whole nother topic, and we can talk about that later. But the other thing that causes hypothyroidism, processed foods. So, but you will, like you were talking about with your son, unexplained weight gain or difficulty losing weight or a change in that. Your thyroid hormones play a very important role in regulating the breakdown of fats in that subcutaneous, the white tissue, that jiggly fat. And it also has a very important role in building muscle. So also cold sensitivity. Are your hands and feet, do they get cold very easily? Is your skin dry? Is your hair falling out? The amount of people coming to me with their hair falling out has skyrocketed, men and women. Constipation, so not only does your brain and you have low energy, but your motility in your gut, it doesn't have energy. So you're constipated, you're weak, you've got joint pain, swelling, edema in the ankles, hoarseness in the voice, depression, like we talked about, your cognitive issues, brain fog, memory issues, menstrual irregularities. I've had people come to me put them on my accelerating iodine, the accelerated thyroid for their thyroid, and their PMS symptoms go away. It's amazing because the thyroid is the master endocrine gland. It is controlling the ovaries, the testes, the adrenals, everything.
I think that should be an anniversary gift for every husband out there.
Absolutely. It affects libido for sure. You might have elevated cholesterol levels, muscle cramps, puffy face. So what are the causes? You've got the iodine deficiency. This is the number one cause. 96% of the United States is deficient in iodine. Iodine is crucial for the synthesis of the thyroid hormones T3 and T4, and the 3 and 4 represent the number of molecules of iodine. Iodine disruptors. So we're talking about in Costa Rica versus the United States. I'm thinking about the fact that I was just sprayed with chemtrails in the sky. Now, whatever you want to think about or in the chemtrails, I'm sorry, they are not real clouds. God did not make zigzag crosses in the sky for clouds. But I can tell you, I felt it. I felt my whole metabolism slow down. I was retaining water. My body just didn't like it. The fluoride in the water, the GMOs, the toxins in our air, food, and water supply are all iodine disruptors. So if we don't have enough iodine in our body, each cell has iodine receptor sites. So if there's not iodine sitting in that receptor site, then the halogens, fluoride, bromide, chlorine, fit into those receptor sites because they all look like iodine. So what we need is iodine to kick out those toxins and get them out. The iodine disruptors are huge in causing this hypothyroidism pandemic. And same with the endocrine disruptors, such as just like the BPAs and the plastics, the pesticides and chemicals. Then you have the heavy metals like mercury and lead. They cause thyroid dysfunction. Radiation, our cell phones, being on Zoom, all of this radiation causes hypothyroidism. Then you've got the Hashimoto's disease, which is the most common cause of hypothyroidism, and it's autoimmunity. And the immune system mistakenly attacks the thyroid gland. Then thyroid medication, pituitary gland disorders, those are not as common, but mostly it's the radiation, the toxins, the lack of iodine that's causing this hypothyroidism. So what do we do about it? Well, we want the accelerating iodine to fill in the receptor sites, and you need the right kind of iodine. Iodine, there are toxic iodine sources out there, like iodoral and Lugol's. Those are very popular out there, but be careful. You don't know where they're getting their iodine. A lot of iodine sources are coming from the Asias, where Chernobyl and Fukushima are affecting the radiation and the cleanliness of the iodine. Accelerine iodine comes from South America, deeply mined, pristine. It is free of all radiation and all toxins. It is monoatomic, meaning it has one molecule of iodine, very easily absorbed, 100% absorption, and it's enhanced with scalar frequencies to detox not just the thyroid, but even the pineal gland and the every cell in the body of all those toxins that we want to kick out. Then you combine it with the accelerated thyroid. And this is the most comprehensive natural thyroid supplement. You can take it with your thyroid medication. My hopes is that you're going to get off your thyroid medication, but it helps restore thyroid function. And it includes Ayurvedic supplements or herbals, in addition to grass-fed thyroid, glandular, and other peptides and amino acids to help with thyroid optimization. Then we enhance it with scalar frequencies to help detox the thyroid and heal the thyroid. That is our job. You can add in a supplement called Thyroid Fixer. This combines T2 with other complementary fat burning ingredients. So this is like third priority if someone wants to just get a little boost in that fat burning. And we talked about last time with the slow metabolism, how when you add in that accelerated keto, it increases metabolism and fat burning by helping you intermittent fast, cleansing the liver gently. And the liver is where T4 converts into the active T3 hormone for the thyroid. So your thyroid is not going to be working right if your liver's not right. So the accelerated keto helps suppress the cravings for sugar and processed foods, increase ATP and energy and metabolism, and then help with the thyroid hormones convert properly. So those would be the most important supplements for the thyroid.
Wow, that is definitely helpful. And, I think of things and it's like, you're talking about different scenarios and things we do to our body that we don't even know we're doing. Are there things that we are eating that we definitely should not eat that contributes to the thyroid problems?
The oxalates. So we touched on this last time. The oxalates are slowing down the thyroid. They get jabbed into the thyroid and slow down its function. They get
Wow.
put into our joints and our urinary tract. They're actually the number one cause of UTIs and bladder infections. They
Hmm.
cause brain fog. Then you've got the sulfur vegetables and the sulfur foods. Those can block the liver's detoxification pathways. If your liver's not functioning, it's going to cause hypothyroidism. It's not going to be able to convert that T4 to T3, and you're going to have a slow metabolism. When you eat the processed foods, that is going to slow down the thyroid. It is going to steal that ATP, that energy out of your body. When you increase your protein, so the wild animal protein not only increases the building blocks for your thyroid and all your tissues, your hair, your skin, but it actually provides more nutrients than the crops and the vegetables that we used to get our vitamins and minerals from. Because the soils are so depleted, those vegetables don't provide that. And that's why we have to go to the wild animal protein like bison and elk and deer and lamb and grass-fed beef for those nutrients. Intermittent fasting definitely helps with your thyroid function and your metabolism. And like I said, the processed foods increase insulin resistance, fat storage, and reduce metabolism. They take away the ATP, and they increase reverse T3, which is your survival hormone to tell your body to store fat and not burn the calories.
So you're talking about wild protein. What's your opinion of, because I've always deemed that this is supposed to be healthier, like the ones you mentioned. What's your opinion of ostrich?
Ostrich is wild, so that's
Yeah.
great.
Because I got to tell you, for anybody out there that's never had an ostrich steak, like I get it at the Japanese steakhouse, and man, it is good. Like, and I'm somebody that I don't eat like cow steak, but I'll eat that ostrich steak, and it is good. And I'm saying this for people out there too that are the same way. Elk I loved it. I like buffalo, and bison, any of that stuff. I mean, I think it's better than cow, to be honest.
Me
And
too.
it's obviously better for your body, but taste wise, I think it's better. So, how does everybody reach out to you, connect you on socials? How do they check out your supplements, buy your supplements, check out your radio, TV, and podcast show, all that good stuff?
Everything's at sarabantahealth.com. My coaching, join. There's no downside. It's free. You learn, you sit back, you ask your questions. You can email me through the website with your questions about your personal health, and I can put together a protocol for you. My podcast is Accelerated Health TV and Radio Show on every podcast outlet out there. And on social, I'm Accelerated Health Products. So definitely join and engage. I want to hear from you.
Well, as usual, you are phenomenal. And as usual, you give great advice. And we again talked a little bit about protein, but we're going to tease again that we're going to have a whole episode about protein because there's a lot of myths, there's a lot of misuse. And I think even the fact of when you have your protein, like there's people that they take protein before they go work out, and then there's people that do it after. So people are going to have to tune into that episode to find out who's right and who's wrong, or just the best way to treat your body and to handle proteins and just be healthy and happy. Because listen, at the end of the day, if you're not healthy, you're not going to be happy. And so they need to contact you, Sara, so they can not only be healthy, but be happy and have a great life. So thank you once again for helping all of our listeners, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipe Man.
Thanks, Dean.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipe Man on W4CY Radio.